We've all been stopped from travelling just down this main road to assemble in a camp just to meet each other from across the world, all supporting people in Gaza. And I can't believe who was also stopped. Mandla Mandela, the grandson of Nelson Mandela. I mean, can you tell us how you feel about this infringement on civil liberties here?
Well, for us, it has been an anticipated challenge that we knew that coming to Egypt would not be easy. From afar, we have heard of the Rafah border crossing being closed. We have heard of the humanitarian aid not being allowed into Gaza. But the question has always lingered as to who is preventing the humanitarian aid from getting into Gaza. Because Gaza is a borderline that is on the Egyptian side, on the Palestinian side. The Palestinians need the humanitarian aid to go into their territories so that we can be able to break the siege and break the blockade. On this end, you've got Egypt, which has always stood in front of the international community and called for a ceasefire and called for humanitarian aid to be allowed free access into Gaza. So today, we came from all corners of the world to join the global march to Gaza, which is made up of over 80 countries that have come together. But we have also been inspired by our comrades and brothers in North Africa, as far as Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, who engaged in the Sumud convoy, who were also joining this convoy. We have seen in reality that they have been prevented in coming into Egypt. Some of our comrades at the airport were detained and threatened to be deported. Those that have managed to come into Cairo, such as myself, had no problems entering Egypt and coming through the airport. But we have had immense challenges going through each and every toll gate, where we have been subjected, just as Palestinians are in the West Bank, in checkpoints where they have to present their identity documents. We have been subjected to that. In this second checkpoint that we are in, our passports were taken away, and we were held in this place for over 6 hours. Now, our challenge or our issue is not directed at the Egyptian government. We have only one mission: to ensure that we reach the Rafah crossing and we are able to get humanitarian aid into Gaza. As you are well aware that there are thousands of trucks that are waiting to get into Gaza. And we have been prevented from going to the next toll gate. Even there, we will be subjected to our passports being taken away. The only compromise this far, we have been told, is that we have been given our passports on the reality that we must get on buses and go back to Cairo. Unfortunately, we as the international solidarity movement in the Gaza or in the global march to Gaza are not here for the interest of Egypt. We are here for the interest of Palestinians. We can no longer sit idle while babies, children and women in particular are butchered, massacred on a daily basis through a genocide, ethnic cleansing, war crimes and crimes against humanity. Those that must be held accountable, such as the Israeli regime, need to be held accountable through the rightful institutions like the ICJ and the ICC. But we are now aware that there are enablers that are allowing this genocide to be carried through. And we should now shift our focus into exerting pressure on those countries.
Thank you very much. And have you had your? Can I just ask? Have you had your passport back? Sorry, have you had your passport back?
Yes, I got my passport back after 5 hours of it being taken away, which is totally an unnecessity because there's an immigration office at the airport where we were able to be given our visas and we were allowed entry into Egypt. Now, as tourists, we are allowed free movement into Egypt and to promote the beautiful country that this is and the beautiful hospitality of the Egyptian people. But we are rather being met with hostility, and we are shown that we are not well received as this international community that is actually here to support what the Egyptian government has been putting in the international media, that they are calling for a ceasefire and they are calling for humanitarian aid to flow freely into Gaza. So it is totally hypocritical for them today to find ourselves in this situation that our passports are being confiscated and yet they have been given back and we have been stalled in this toll gate.
Will you be complaining to the South African government and the embassy about what's happened?
Well, all of us being here, we have informed our embassies of the challenges we are facing. Many of those that were detained at the airport were released through the pressure that was exerted by our embassies, and we will forever be grateful to those embassies that have been supportive to the cause. But also we must send a clear and strong message that many governments have failed the Palestinian people. And the Palestinians are now looking to civil society. Everyone that is here is not coming from government structures but are in touch and are bound by humanity. These are civil society organizations that have come together to say that they cannot sit silent anymore and watch babies on a daily basis being massacred.